Welcome to this Astranti video. My name is Jordan and today I'm going to be running you through our industry analysis for the MCS exam for the May 2020 sitting. Now of course today we are dealing with the hotel industry and more specifically we are dealing with the Alpaca Hotel Group, our Mainlandia based luxury hotel service. Before we go any further, I would like to explain that this video is designed to be an accompaniment to the main industry document that we produce. So my aim here is to pick out some of the key topics, key trends and key examples that I think will be of particular use to you in your exam. This video is not designed to replace the actual industry document itself, so we do recommend that you use both of these products in conjunction with each other. So as usual at MCS level, you are a financial manager in Alpaca's head office. You are to report to Liz Petrov, a senior financial manager who reports to Alpaca's finance director, Zoe Diaz. Your primary duties, along with being a management accountant, is to gather information on other matters for your superiors, which will be required of you in the exam. You are expected to provide logical business advice as if you're an employee working within the industry. So this industry pack is designed to give you much needed context as to the industry you will be role-playing in. So now that we've established your position in the company, what I want to do now is start by looking at the history of the hotel industry, and I think this will be useful for several reasons. For one, it will provide context on the modern hotel industry, but also it will help pick out key parts and key trends that we can translate to the modern hotel industry, but also to our pre-scene, the Alpaca Hotel Group. Now, facilities offering hospitality to travellers have been around on this planet for centuries. They've been there since ancient times all the way up to today. Now, back in the Middle Ages, we used to were often referred to back then as inns, which you're probably quite familiar with if you've ever watched Game of Thrones or read any fantasy novels. Now, moving forward a bit closer to the present day, the early modern period, those inns became more popular, and even around this time, we started to see intense competition among innkeepers for revenue, which is a reflection of what it currently is today. Competition in this industry is very fierce. But the biggest changes to the hospitality industry, and more specifically for hotels, occurred in the modern period. Now, in the modern period, there was a growth in multiple things, such as technology, the growth in disposable income, things like travel literature, which was very popular with the middle classes and made people want to explore and go to these exotic places. So things like improved transport technology enable people in this late 19th to 20th century to just travel greater distances and travel more frequently. Then with the introduction of air travel, the hotel industry saw a major boom in popularity because now not only was it cheap, but it was also very quick to travel to these new locations. And then lastly, the most recent development that has affected the hotel industry is that of the internet. The internet has made it not only easier for hotels to connect with each other so they can share information, but it also allowed hotels to more directly interact with their customers, such as through review sites or comparison sites. Now, how does this apply to the pre-scene? Well, Alpaca was founded in the 1930s, which is roughly around the golden era of the hotel industry, when tourism was readily accessible and there were plenty of new modern hotel chains that are still around today were being founded around this period. And so Alpaca was part of what you could call maybe the first wave of hotel chains. So Alpaca have a history, a prestige which they can lean on in their marketing. So for example, the Maybury Principal Hotel is their oldest hotel and it still uses the same solid oak paneling from when it was first built. So this gives it that air of authenticity and luxury and a sort of historical prestige that you can't find in more modern hotels. As an older business, Alpaca have also had the benefit of time, the benefit to expand across Mainlandia and make its brand recognizable to the population. This is reflected numerically through its room numbers. It owns 10% of all rooms in the entire country. Now, the business has not shied away from new technology, given that it uses online booking services to fill out spare capacity, and it uses revenue management software as well. Now, while the extent to which Alpaca have benefited from the rise of this technology is not entirely clear from the pre-scene, it can be assumed that, given Mainlandia is an island, that things like accessibility to air travel in the past 40 years will have greatly benefited demand for luxury hotels in Mainlandia and therefore benefited Alpaca. And now we're on to the final chapter where I'll go through some industry examples for you. So the UK Office of Fair Trading, a regulatory watchdog, has started investigating Expedia and Booking.com for antitrust practices with IHG. Now, the two companies are allegedly threatening a competitor and hotels that appear on the competitor's website, Naste. So why is this situation relevant to the pre-scene? Well, it shows the possibility of the government intervening in the hotel industry and the power of booking companies and how they try to exert that power over hotels. Now, Alpaca saw a decline in revenue in 2019-2018, meaning it needs to increase the demand for its rooms. Now, one way it could do this is by using online comparison sites to try and fill out capacity. However, the comparison site has the power to manipulate search rankings against Alpaca if the online provider wanted to extort the business for a larger commission. Now, of course, there's a possibility that this would actually, have government intervention, but nonetheless, the situation still exists. It is still a possibility that actions like those of Expedia and Booking.com could occur to Alpaca. Now that you've seen the sample, I'd like to take the opportunity to tell you about some of the other materials that Astranti provides for the case study exam. Now the first of these is the study text, and this goes over some general tips that you should know for revising and when sitting the exam, but it also goes over the different mock variants you're likely to see to best prepare you for when you sit it. The course video then supplements the study text and provides, again, some more advice on passing the exam. For individual case studies, we also provide the pre-scene analysis, which goes over the pre-scene that you'll receive prior to the exam and within it, and an industry analysis that goes over the general industry that the pre-scene company exists in. We also provide mock exams that you can use to practice mock question variants in preparation for your exam, and alongside this we also provide marking and feedback so that you can understand what you did right and what you did wrong. If you need additional assistance, we also provide masterclasses where one of our case study experts will be able to go over the pre-scene and the industry and the exam more generally, and you'll be able to ask them questions directly if you need any assistance. Lastly, if you don't pass the exam with us, we will provide a pass guarantee so that you may pass the next one, but hopefully it won't have to come to that and you'll pass first time. Thank you for watching and good luck in your exam.